Welcome. So today is the Mental Health Day. I want to give you a little bit of introduction about mindfulness, the mindfulness meditation, and the foundations towards that. These will be helping you to focus on your well-being. So if you're ready, we can get started. So take a deep breath, breathe out, and open up to this new knowledge around mindfulness. Okay, so hello everyone. It's amazing to see you all. And I'd love to just jump in with a mini meditation. Probably you're in your workspaces at this moment, and maybe you can take a few minutes to just wind off with me. So just bring your attention to how you're sitting at the moment. Are you leaning back or are you front? How do you feel around your shoulders, your arms? Just check your body in your mind and find out if there is any tension anywhere you would love to change or relax a little bit. And taking in a deep breath here and now. And exhaling softly. Taking another deep breath and feeling your chest opening and exhaling and relaxing down. And the third time, a deep breath in. And exhaling, relax your jaw and your shoulders, maybe your tummy, your legs, and feel the weight of your body here and now. And let your mind and let your breath be as they are. Just become aware if there are any voices around you, any sounds other than mine. What are you hearing? Any sensations around your palms, your hands, softness, maybe dryness? Is there warmth? And kindly feel how your body is breathing at the moment. Is your body breathing deeply? Or very hollow, gentle breathing? And become aware of any sensations around the breathing here and now. And breathing in your mind, say to yourself, I'm breathing in. And breathing out in your mind, say to yourself, I'm breathing out. Very gently, no rush at all. And for just a few more breaths, we're here. Take each exhalation as a chance to relax the body. Become aware of this moment in your life. And maybe gently bring a hand to your chest or your heart if you'd like to. And feel the sensation of the touch, the warmth. And if you may, you can invite a little smile to your face. Taking in a deep breath and exhaling. And remind yourself you're a human being and you're just doing fine, doing all the work you're doing every day. going through joys and sadnesses of this world, working and resting. So if your eyes are closed, you can gently open them. And if your eyes are already open, then take a moment or two to just look around the space you are in. And don't assume that you know this place, like you go there every day and everything is very familiar. There's always a detail that is new to our eyes. So, welcome again. And I'd love to talk about what mindfulness is at this moment. So here is the very basic definition of mindfulness from Jon Kabat-Zinn. And he has been in the University of Massachusetts, and he is the one who introduced mindfulness into clinical practice, like psychologically, and into medical practice as well. So mindfulness comes from actually Buddhist roots, but it's in a secular practice way now. And Jon Kabat-Zinn brought, maybe we can say, the wisdom and practices of Eastern world to Western world and applied it in a hospital at the first time. So in the 1970s, Kabat-Zinn was working in Massachusetts, and he applied mindfulness practices to patients who were being treated for cancer and very deep sicknesses, who had a lot of pain in their bodies. And they have found out that mindfulness practices helped people relieve their pain and go through treatments much more easily, having deeper sleep and have less anxiety. So mindfulness, as a definition from Jon Kabat-Zinn, is the awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally. What does this mean? So we are aware of everything around us all the time. You hear a lot of sounds, you see a lot of stuff, colors and lights, and your mind processes maybe thousands of thoughts in a minute. However, when we are paying attention on purpose, it means that I am, at this moment, giving a decision to follow my breathing, like in breath and out breath, for maybe 1 minute. It means that I'm narrowing down my attention towards one thing. And in that one thing, I'm learning to bring my focus in a longer duration. And I do it in the present moment. So I'm not doing this like about yesterday or tomorrow's events. I'm here in this moment, in this breathing. Or here I am leaning back and I feel the touch of my back on my chair. Or I'm hearing the sounds of the traffic outside, or the birds outside, or the person sitting next to me. So I'm hearing sounds in this very moment. So the approach of mindfulness is bringing our attention on purpose in the present moment's experience. So it's not about what's happening on the outside, but what is my internal experiences about it. And the last part of this sentence is the heart of meditation. It is the non-judgmental approach. So what does that mean? Our mind judges everything. So we have ideas about every person we know, every event we have confronted, everything we're working on or we come across. We have an idea, a preference, a judgment, a comment, an opinion. So we become aware of our own thoughts, our own emotions, bodily sensations, our own breathing, and our own relationships in life. When we do mindfulness, we become less and less judging towards what's happening. So it's becoming open to this big range of emotions, big range of, ways of being in life. But at first, what we come across is how judgmental we are. So we really need some kindness and compassion towards ourselves in this practice. So in my next slide, Here we come to present moment awareness. What we are trying to get out of is the past, future, and judgment cycle. So whenever you let yourself go, so you're resting on your couch, or you're driving your car or cooking a meal, in the meantime, your mind just wanders off. And generally it goes to three places. It's one, past. We go on ruminating the past moments, experiences, what I said, what I should have said, what I should have done. So there's a sense of regret most of the time for tiny mistakes we have made, and we can go over and over on them. So this is the wandering mind on past. And sometimes it's around future, right? So we have sometimes worrisome thoughts. We have some expectations of the future, maybe what will happen tomorrow, what will happen in this presentation, what will she say after this. So there's always a curiosity, and we also assume things. We assume what people think about us, what they will say to us, or if I open up a subject, what it will bring in life to me. So if I take this step, what will happen next? So this is the future cycle. And the last one is the judgment. What is the judgment? It might be some self-blame, or blaming others, or blaming the world, or blaming the family. So we might be judging how things are at this very moment, or sometimes we might be judging the past or the future. We might be judging ourselves for our shortcomings, or our imperfections, or our mistakes. Or sometimes we are judging others for not, maybe bringing in what we have been expecting from them. So the mind wanders, and this is not something about you. It is something about being human. Human experience, we have minds and bodies, and our minds are generally wandering around. So this is called, in the medical language, the default network of the brain. So this is a network which brings in this time understanding. So there is the past, there's the future, there's the now, and our mind is going back and forth, scanning for events or troubles or problems or shortcomings. And brain is always trying to keep us in the survival, keep us alive. So checking for mistakes, checking for maybe possible troubles or problems, and trying to solve them. So brain is a big problem solver, because our brain doesn't want us to be happy. It wants us to be alive and stay alive. So the mind wanders back and forth, and in the moment, in the judgment, and this is called the default network. And you might have maybe learned about this before, and in maybe Zen tradition or mindfulness tradition, sometimes this is called the autopilot of the mind. So everything is there in an auto cycle. It goes back and forth. So what we wish here is to bring in some more awareness of this moment. So how is my feet feeling right now? How is my hand feeling right now? How is my body feeling right now? So what's the state of my mind? How much sounds are around me right now? Becoming aware of the present experience. So in the basics, we generally start by sensory channels. So this is the level 1. You may be seeing the sensory awareness program we have. So it starts with sight, and then hearing, and then touch, and taste, and smell. So we go through 5 senses in the present moment, just to come back to here and now, to this moment again and again, when we find our minds ruminating in worries, in anger, in expectations, in judgments or regrets. So we step in with sensory awareness, and then we come to breath awareness. Breath awareness is just becoming aware of how my body is breathing in and out every moment. So the breathing is a part of our body's automatical system. So we don't need to think about breathing. Our body is breathing like 24/7 since the time we were born. And in mindfulness, we are not trying to alter or change the breathing, but become aware of our breathing. So I'm breathing in, I'm becoming aware I'm breathing in, and breathing out, I'm becoming aware I'm breathing out. And we generally watch how the breath makes us feel in our bodies, because there is a sensation of inhalation, which is maybe becoming more alive and bigger as a body volume. And exhaling, the exhalation has a sense of letting go and relaxation in the body. So we become aware of these two. And there's this little pause in between. Or sometimes in some of our meditations, you might find out that we do some mantras, which is like breathing in, we say hope, and breathing out, we say freedom, or breathing in, we say calm, and breathing out, we say safe. So we can imprint the breathing with words, and then we bring the words in the breathing. So our minds become aware of the both. And the third part of basics is body scan and bodily sensations. So body scan is the very basic meditation of mindfulness, which involves scanning your body parts one by one in your mind with a very gentle awareness, like bringing in some light to every space, breathing into those spaces and relaxing those spaces. So this is the part which is very much used in sleep meditations, because all we need is relaxing the muscles, especially the muscles that are holding too much emotion in. So in basics, we do the sensory channels, the breathing, and the body. So you will see all these programs in mindfulness meditations of Meditopia. And then I can say that step by step, we involve mental awareness, which is becoming aware of your thoughts at the moment. Such as, if you're thinking about the future in your bed, like 1 a.m. in the morning, and you're trying to sleep, but all you can think about is the presentation you will do next week. So this is an overthinking, and overthinking is bringing in some big, let's say, activation in the body. And this activation says, get up and do something. Get up and get in action. And if you are in this nervous mode, then you cannot go to sleep. Mental awareness, yes, Sarah, that's me, that's you, and that's every one of us. So everyone lives this in their lives. So you're not alone in that. The mental awareness brings in, oh, okay, I can be actually gently disconnected from this idea, disconnected from this thought. This thought is not reality. It's just a fraction or a reflection of reality. It is just one little probability that I'm thinking over and over again. So when we become aware of our thoughts, we can be detached from them or disconnected from them. And this means there's a space between me and my thoughts. And then I am not made up of my thoughts. And I can always question, is this true? Am I 100% sure that it will happen this way? Or this is an assumption, a possibility. So mental awareness is becoming aware of what my mind is speaking to me, what the narrative of the brain is speaking to me at this moment, and becoming detached from that. And emotional awareness is one level further. It is becoming aware of which emotion is alive in me. So am I bored at the moment? Am I feeling discomfort? Am I feeling frustrated or angry? Am I worried or anxious or nervous? Or am I feeling joyful or hopeful or relaxed? Am I feeling in love? Am I feeling attracted? Am I feeling maybe sad or content. So we become aware of our emotional state each time we delve into mindfulness meditations and ask ourselves, how am I feeling at this moment? And generally, we have very little, vocabulary for what we feel. Actually, it is proven that human beings have over 500 emotions, like feelings that are named. We generally can search and find maybe 10 or 12. Actually, from time to time, you can become aware of which emotion this is. Some emotions are huge, right? Like anger is huge. Yeah. So maybe worry is huge. Maybe frustration is big. Or feeling love is big. But sometimes you get bored, or you feel a little bit discomfortable. Then this is a very tiny emotion. It's a slight emotion. So we become, in a daily basis, much more aware of our emotional state, and we become better at naming the emotion and feeling the emotion in our body as a movement, as an activation or deactivation. And the other step coming in after the emotions is self-compassion, which I love the most, which helped me the most. So maybe I can see if there are any perfectionists in this group, or maybe some recovering perfectionists, huh? So expectants are big from us, ourselves. We are not very tolerant with little mistakes. If this is the case, then self-compassion is the biggest help you can give to yourself. So it is what we do to become a friend to our own emotional state. Like maybe protecting and supporting and regulating ourselves as a mother or a father would do to a kid, and become a friend to ourselves in these in these maybe difficult emotions or states. So it's not easy to feel when you say to yourself, no, I'm not enough for this job. I'm not enough for this relationship. Or I'm not a good enough mother. I'm not a good enough father. So I should have done better. So these are the mind of a perfectionist. And self-compassion would help you find out that what you are going through, everyone is going through that. This is common humanity. And you start learning to talk to yourself in a compassionate inner voice, besides that self-critic. And it takes time, but step by step, we recover. So self-compassion, it gives you a lot of motivation to go through difficult times, and also motivate yourself to become your better selves. Going forward, we have savoring life moments. So we have wonderful programs in Meditopia, like enjoying our lives or happiness. We can come across moments in life. So I love coffee. I don't know if you love coffee or tea or something warm. And do you just drink it by without even noticing the sensory awareness, without noticing how much savoring or joy or how delicious it is or how it smells? Sometimes we just work or do stuff, and in the meantime we eat or drink and we don't feel it. Sometimes my mom used to say, oh, there's the plate in front of me with a lot of food on it. And then a moment later, I see the plate is blank and I don't know who ate it. Actually, we can be totally out of our moment experience in our minds, thinking about past and future and many stuff, and who eats the food. Savoring our life is savoring every little moment of anything delicious, anything joyful, anything that is making us content or happy, like a smile from a friend, a tiny message that gives us motivation, a friend's hug, maybe a call from a relative, maybe, just enjoying your meal or the smell of your coffee. for a few moments before you drink it. Savoring the life moments brings our nervous system capacity to go through the difficult stuff. So the more you enjoy your life, the tiny moments, the more you become aware of the beauty of life, the meaning in life, the purpose in life. And going through the difficult becomes easier. So this is building the resilience. Insight and meaning is what comes in sometimes months, sometimes years' time. Insight is understanding your own behaviors, the big picture, why it happened the way it was, why you have been behaving like this. So it becomes much more open and obvious to us to understand our own behavior, our own past, our family and relational life. Having the insight brings in more meaning. And then in the very antique, let's say the Buddha's texts or the teachings, you can see the liberation from misidentification. This is a huge wording, but I have to put it in. It means that we generally identify ourselves with our jobs, our successes, or maybe failures, our relationship states, our income, maybe what we wear. But this misidentification brings much more suffering in life. So meditation in the long run and mindfulness generally brings us to the reality of impermanence in life. And then we become detached from even the possessions. Generally, we become aware of what matters most in life. So the misidentification gets loose and loose, and we become identified with who we really are, the deep joy, the deep wisdom and compassion in us, in human beings. So we can check the next slide here. And this is the mindfulness and stress connection. Generally, what we live is throughout our lives, we are stressed if generally we are living in a city and we have a lot of responsibilities. Stress is not a bad word. So it doesn't mean stress is all the time bad for us. Stress is needed to be alive, to learn, to grow, to become a bigger self. To succeed, we need stress. So in order to create, we need stress. In order to learn a new language, we need stress. In order to evolve, we need stress. Stress is the response of our organism as the mind and body to anything that challenges us, anything that is new. So stress is there in the school, in job, in relationships, throughout our lives. So there's no end to stress. In order to act, we have to have stress. But there is the distress, which is the chronic stress, the non-stop stress, no rest and all the time stress. This is which brings some load to our body systems, which we don't want. So too much stress and too little rest or relaxation means a lot of load for your cardio system. And especially the stress hormones, one of them is cortisol. If you do not rest well, become mindful of your life, exercise, or take time to unwind your mind enough, then the stress level is always high. So this is called chronic stress. It means in your blood, there's always the stress hormone cortisol. And it means that some bodily systems like immune system or thyroid hormones, they are always pressed by your cortisol. And this is a heavy load for our body to carry. This is like a burden. What we need is breaks of silence, break of rest, breaks of deep relaxation. breaks of awareness of our own impermanence, our own bodily needs, our own compassionate needs. So practicing mindfulness, we know that it eases out this chronic stress in our body systems. And it brings in self-regulation. Have you heard of this word before? Self-regulation. That's a very important word. So what I want to say is self-regulation means gently down-regulating our state of vigilance. Vigilance is the state we are about to do something all the time. We are about to do something, some action, some fight, some flight is always there. So we want to bring our systems down a little bit. This is called the self-regulation capacity of our brain. And this is done with the prefrontal part of our brain, which is called the prefrontal cortex. And the author, Bessel van der Kolk, he calls this part of our brain the watchtower. The watchtower is there, and mindfulness meditation gently improves the watchtower. So we bring in the watchtower. We bring in the self-regulation. We bring in executive functions of our brain every day in a routine. We bring in awareness on the prefrontal cortex of our brains. And we know by now, by research of 40 years, that if we do regular meditation every day, then the prefrontal cortex thickness increases. The matter, the gray matter in our brain increases. So this is something scientifically proven. So what we do is we bring our awareness to our breathing, and the watchtower is there. When we bring our attention to the 5 senses or our bodily sensations, the watchtower is aware. When we gently say a mantra, I'm here and now, I'm here and now, then the watchtower is aware. So we want to be present and aware, and our watchtower becomes stronger every day. Why do we need that? In the stressful moments, we can bring it very quickly if we have been practicing it every day. So you have a regular mindfulness meditation, then in that stressful meeting, in that family dinner, in that very difficult moment in your car in the traffic jam, you can bring in your watchtower. You can breathe in, breathe out, relax your shoulders. Remember what is really important in your life. So this is our relationship to stress. Physiologically, meditation releases stress. It decreases the hormone cortisol in our blood. And in the meantime, mentally, we can become aware. We can become relaxed and focused much more easily if we practice meditation every day. So when we come to our next slide, the effects on sleep. There are like hundreds of research on this because sleep is the matter for most people in our age. We know that mindfulness meditation right before sleep prepares our minds to drift off easily. And also it improves the sleep quality, which means that if you do regular mindfulness meditation practice before sleep every night, the research shows that the waking up in the middle of the night, this is getting less and less, and the sleep gets deeper in a longer period. Studies have shown that mindfulness may be very effective in insomnia treatments as well. So mindfulness meditation is generally suggested for those who have sleep problems. We have a lot of sleep stuff, you will see. We have sleep stories, sleep meditations, which I have created actually, so I know them by heart. There are a lot of visualizations, which brings another part of your brain related to your prefrontal cortex and emotional regulation. But generally, in order to sleep, from all the things I have told you today, the most important thing is the body relaxation. So generally, if we have a 25 minutes of meditation for sleep, people just drift off in 7 or 10 minutes of it, and then they don't remember the rest. They don't even hear the rest of it. Generally, in 5 to 10 minutes, we do a lot of body relaxation. And in order to relax your body, you don't need to do a lot, actually. Relaxation is the opposite of any effort that is present. So it's about letting go and softening your body. And you learn it in just a few days. You will learn it very quickly. We actually know how to relax, but we forget to do it. So the sleep meditations are generally reminders of relaxing the facial muscles, which we have been squeezing all day long, and our shoulders, and our chest, and our navel, and even the genitals, because we have a lot of push and we have a lot of effort in our life. And it means a lot of muscles are contracted throughout the day, from the sits bones up to your eyes. So all these muscles in the torso and the face needs to relax in order to go to sleep. Relaxation of the body tells your nervous system, hey, now you are safe and you can sleep. There's no attack on you. There's nothing being expected of you. You are safe here and you can rest. This is the relaxation of the body talking to your nervous system. So when you learn to relax the body, the sleep will become much more easier. And maybe the next step here is the benefits of mindfulness. Oh my God, there are so much. I don't know how to tell them all. But I can say that the emotional regulation is the part where we can become aware of our emotional state and use the body awareness, the breath awareness, or the sensations to come back to this very moment. The efficiency part, we know that very basic breathing meditation even, it increases the focus. It increases the duration of the focus of our brains. We know that the relationships are improved throughout self-love, self-awareness of emotions, and also the empathy towards the other, or compassion for the other. We know that there are several research on depression and anxiety, and we know by heart now some psychiatrical level interventions include a lot of mindfulness. And there is actually a way of therapy which is based on mindfulness, which is called the acceptance and commitment therapy, which is created by Stephen Hayes. And Stephen used mindfulness as the core component of a therapy system. So it's a cognitive therapy system, and it also includes self-compassion. So now we know that the world is using meditation to overcome depression as a state, anxiety, and also in life we have a lot of troubles around finances. We become anxious about our children, our future. So bringing in mindfulness makes us become aware of the moment again and again, and our internal experience towards the moment. So we might become less attached to future income, to future expectations, or what John Kabat-Zinn calls is striving. So generally the mind of a Westerner in our age is striving. What is striving? It is running after the next event, running after the next award, running after the next income or next thing that's coming up. We always think that it would be better than now. So mindfulness meditation brings in non-striving, which means we learn to relax into now, this moment, and savor it, or welcome it, or be compassionate to ourselves about it. What I can say, maybe as a last and important part, is how to become a mindfulness meditation practitioner in a routine. How can we make it a habit in our lives? Because it's not easy to gain new habits, right? I don't know if you are easily doing it, but I'm not. So it takes some effort in the beginning. What I can say is, in mindfulness, we have two primary basic ways to apply mindfulness. One is formal and the other is informal practice. So formal practice is what you do in the morning or in the evening when you sit on your cushion, on your chair, on the ground, doesn't matter, or your bed. So you take this 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes for yourself and your practice. So this is a commitment. The formal practice is saying, now I'm going to do a meditation. Now I'm going to sit on my cushion and meditate. Now I'm going to sit on my couch and I will meditate. And the informal is what we do throughout our day. So maybe taking a glass of water and just sipping and feeling how you're sipping it. Feeling the water in your mouth, the taste, the swallowing, the sensation in your chest, and it's reaching your navel, your stomach. So this is a process I can watch and become aware from moment to moment, and I can even enjoy that. With my tea, with my water, maybe showering, I can bring mindfulness to showering and I can feel the drips of water on my body, on my skin for 1 minute. This is informal mindfulness practice. Or maybe you're cooking a soup and you're making circles with your little spoon there. And you're just bringing in mindfulness and smelling the soup and feeling the moment, the movement on your hand, bringing your awareness to this present moment experience non-judgmentally is mindfulness. So if you're kissing your partner or hugging your child or your little pet, you can bring in mindfulness and not think about, the invoice you have to pay or the meeting you will have tomorrow or what you have done yesterday. Just being there with your sensation, with your breathing, with your emotions, and living that moment fully is mindfulness. So we have a lot of little tiny meditation moments in Meditopia. You can have 1 minute meditation, 3 minutes, very short and little, very quick ones. These are for those informal practices that you can learn to put in your maybe working breaks or daily breaks throughout the day. So making a habit starts with the formal, but also the informal practices are nourishing our formal practice every day. So you do a 5-minute meditation, a little body scan in the morning, and throughout the day, in your tea break or in your pee break, you take like 2 minutes to scan your body and find how tense your shoulders are, and you relax them back. And you do it maybe in an hourly basis. And then it nourishes your formal practice. Making a habit is easier if you do it every day. So instead of taking like 1 hour meditation once a week, I would suggest doing 5 or 10 minutes meditations every day throughout the week. And if you say to yourself right now, oh, I don't have 10 more minutes for like meditating, then just, you can wake up 10 minutes earlier, or you can open up a tiny space for yourself instead of like scrolling on social media or watching TV. And I have to say, as a last thing, it is easier to do it in the morning, not in the evening, actually. So before going to bed or in the bed, you can do the sleep meditations. But if you wish to learn meditating and making a habit, I would strongly suggest that you do it in the morning when your mind is very, very powerful, your body is ready for the day, and you have the willpower to make it a priority in your life. And don't say to yourself, 5 minutes, it doesn't matter. The neuropsychologist Rick Hansen says that even 20 seconds of mindful awareness starts changing your brain. So don't judge the little breaks. Don't, think or assume that these 3 minutes, 5 minutes don't matter. They matter the most. So start small. If you can do it in the morning, and start with the meditations in Meditopia, which are feeling the easiest, warmest, or most joyful to you. Because easy does it. If you find something difficult, you will run away from it. So choose your favorites and go with them. So thank you for being here and listening to the end of this presentation. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for your care on your own well-being. So, hope to see you again another time. Goodbye.